If You're Happy and You Know It by Kaye Booth. From the Visions anthology, published by WordCrafter Press in 2022. This story was first published in the Collapsar Directive science fiction anthology in 2017 by Zombie Pirates Publishing. The way everyone acted, you think it was a crime to be happy. And looking back, maybe it was. Or at least it might as well have been. I think it started on a Saturday or maybe a Sunday, so no one really noticed at first, including me. Everyone had received their regular allotment of S-Dopa for the weekend, so if they had noticed anything, they would have assumed I'd just received a double dose, which didn't happen often, but it did happen. On Monday, however, when I sang along with the radio, which was always playing in the background at the computer factory as we slaved away every day, the others gave me sidelong glances, as if perhaps I'd lost my mind. Finally, my boss, Mrs. Persimmons, came right out and asked, "Carissa, what has gotten into you?" "Nothing," I said, shrugging my shoulders. "This station plays a lot of good songs." "Well, save your singing for the weekend," she said. "You're distracting your coworkers." So I quieted myself and tried to concentrate on my work for the rest of the day. Although it helped for a short while, I soon felt a tug at the corners of my mouth, wanting to turn my lips upward into a smile. Walking home with Maggie, it began to snow, and I couldn't resist the urge to try to catch the snowflakes on my tongue. "What on earth are you doing?" Maggie asked. I looked at her rather puzzled. "Isn't it obvious?" I replied with a laugh. "They feel like tiny crystals on your tongue before they melt. You should try it, Maggie." "It seems too much like fun to me," Maggie said, pressing on down the walkway. "Crying out loud, this is Monday." I know, but somehow they are simply irresistible," I said, stretching my tongue to catch another. I spun in a circle like a ballerina, laughing with glee. "Well, you'd better not let anyone see you," Maggie said with just a hint of underlying threat in her voice. "If you're discovered, the council could restrict you this weekend. Don't forget, we're supposed to go to Sasha's party after we get our S-Dopa rations." On the weekends, we were allowed leisure time to enjoy ourselves and be happy. Although I knew the thought of restriction should have bothered me, it didn't. I was just too full of joy to be bothered by anything. At supper that night, I caught myself smiling several times and had to keep my face in check. It wasn't easy. The happiness inside me felt as if it was winding up like a clock spring, waiting to be sprung. But one look at all the serious expressions on the rest of my family's faces was enough for me to realize how out of place my silly grin might seem to them. As I helped my mother clear the table, I asked, "Why can't we be happy during the week?" My mother stopped and gave me a stern look. "What kind of crazy question is that?" she asked. I shrugged my shoulders. "I don't know," I said, placing the silverware into the sanitizing unit. "I just wondered why the council won't allow us to be joyful during the week. Surely people were happy without S-Dopa before they started rationing it out. Why did it change?" "Of course. People have always felt happiness from the natural form, N-Dopa," my mother said, putting linen napkins in the basket to be laundered. "But people became addicted to it and sought out drugs, bad drugs, which were like N-Dopa, to get more and more of those happy feelings. On those drugs, they didn't care about leading productive lives. They only wanted to get high." "Is S-Dopa a bad drug?" I asked. "No, of course not. N-Dopa is a chemical our bodies used to produce naturally. The council developed a way to block its natural production so people wouldn't be elated at times when they needed to be productive. On the weekend, we all get our rations in synthetic form so we can enjoy our leisure time. It makes for a much more productive society," she said, placing her hands on her hips. "Now get in there and sanitize the pans, for heaven's sake." I wanted to learn more, but my mother was already heading into the bedroom, so the subject was closed, at least for tonight.